What's going on, YouTube? Back again on this new Hilux build. The last video we did some more cutting and weathered the body. Now I'm gonna build a rear bumper. Now I've already bent and cut and shaped everything I need. Just trying to figure out now how to hold it while I braze it together. The theme on this build is kind of a low budget, garage built, simple, functional truck. So we cut the bed last time, bobbed it, cut the rockers off, the roll pan off the back, and now we're going to make a tube rear bumper, just a single tube, plain and simple. I've already bent the main support out of solid 3/16 steel, and I've beveled the edges to go all the way to the tire well so the tire doesn't cut into it, or the tire doesn't get cut by it. Cut a piece of I don't even know what that is, 1/2 inch flat stock, the width of the rear crossmember where we're going to bolt it to the truck. And for the mounting points, I've used the 3/16 steel brake line. This is hollow because I wanted to round the edges out so they will braze nice and even to the tube. So the next step is I need this to be a little higher up on this part, so I've got to figure out how to hold all this while I braze it together. I'm going to go ahead and get the torch out and start messing around, see what I can come up with. Alright guys, so I've been brazing here. I don't want to do it on camera anymore. I've got a tutorial on it. I just don't want to risk my camera. It's an expensive DSLR, so to show you where I'm at, I couldn't do it the way that I had it laid out because it would have just brazed to my surface. And I had a problem also, I got a thicker sheet of metal here for my base, but it warped as soon as I hit it with the heat. So I had to do it like this. I do one side at a time, and then once this cools, I'll remove my little vice grips here, and I'll put my hoop on, my main bumper, and then we'll do both of those at the same time, hopefully, if I can get them to stay into place. Now on this side of my brake line, I do have it notched to fit against the round solid steel rod, and trying to get those at the right angle. They're supposed to be straight. The first one went on at a little bit of an angle, which will be fine. I'm not going to redo it. So I had to spin a little bit with the vice grips trying to line up the second one at the same angle so they're horizontal with my rod, or my plate there, my steel plate that's going to be drilled out and mounted to the rear crossmember on the Trailfinder 2 chassis. So you're going to let this stuff dry. I did have one tip. When you're brazing, like this hollow brake line, it heats up pretty quick. This torch gets hot enough to heat that within a minute of getting the heat on it, but the steel plate is thicker. So just, logic dictates, focus the heat on my flat plate, and then once you get the flat plate glowing, which is the key to brazing, is getting the metal glowing hot, no matter what it is. If you're brazing brass, it's going to be really quick and it's going to melt. But the steel plate took a little bit, took a couple minutes to get it nice and hot, and just from this sitting on top of it, it almost got hot enough to braze. So I just kind of bounced the torch back and forth once the steel plate got hot, and then shortly after the hollow tube got hot enough, I stuck my rod in, and bam, good to go. And just be sure and work all the way around. It's hard at this angle the way I have this vice grip in there, so you have to kind of get in there and hit it from both sides, and work your rod all the way around, and get a good even braze. So we're gonna let this cool down, and then pull the vice grips off, and we'll start looking at the main bar for the bumper. Alright guys, it's a new day. I ran out of oxygen for my torch, and just cutting with MAPP gas was too smoky and it wasn't really cutting it, so I went and got some more oxygen today, and I've got it all together. Now I've got to drill some holes and mount it to the truck, I did want to show you, I've angled the rods on the ends. Come on. I can get it in there. But see, it's beveled back so it goes right up against the fender flare. And the mount is offset a little bit, so it's up high. And not my best looking work, but it's strong. It's not going to come off on me, so I'm going to go ahead and drill some holes. Try to line this thing up and get it on there straight. We'll see what it looks like. Alright guys, got it on. It's plain and simple. I think it looks pretty good. I can show you. See, the side just comes up to the fender flare, kind of protect it. It does sit a little further back than I intended, but I had to shim it off of the rear cross member because there was just some fitment issues with my plate that has a recessed edge and it was trying to go in there crooked, so I could replace it with some 2mm shims. I only had 3s, so that's what I had to use for now. Alright, hopefully you can see a little better. It's just plain and simple. I like the fitment. I probably will change out the shims and tuck it in just a little bit more if I can find any. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. It's level, straight, lines up, so that's the biggest challenge with the brazing, is trying to keep everything square when you're doing it, and then trying to drill the holes in it and keep that centered so they doesn't touch one side of the body and not the other, and so on. But anyway, overall I'm pretty happy with this so far. I'm going to leave that bumper bare because I don't know yet what I'm going to do for an exo cage or another roll bar, how I'm going to connect everything, how far I'm going to take it. So I'm going to leave that bare and we'll just see where we end up. Let's see. I'm ready to work on the suspension, but I really need to wait. Also, you can see the weathering is completely dried now overnight. It's very, very faded. Looks pretty good, I think. I like it. But anyways, I guess we'll wrap this up. I'm gonna go ahead and put more scale hardware from Locked Up RC on here. I've got enough probably to do most of the chassis. I'm going to run through and do that off camera. So anyways, we'll see you in the next video. Thank y'all for watching.